Welcome back, Bulldogs. I'm Macy.
And I'm Morgan. Today is September 18th.
Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, guys.
Now on to the weather with Sam and Kenny.
How's the weather up there?
A high of 64. How about down there?
It's a low of 42.
But a
There's
100%
chance of Bulldog football. Back to you in the studio.
I'm Marissa.
And I'm Gia.
And welcome to EPSN.
Tonight, the football team plays at home against Lisbon.
And the volleyball team had 3 games this past week against Wellsville, Youngstown East, and United.
The tennis team had 2 matches this week, one against East Liverpool and one against McDonald.
The golf team also came 3rd in the EOAC match.
And we'll be right back after the updated records.
Hi, this is Rachel Hill interviewing Dominic Fridge from the cross country team. We heard you placed 6th at the season opening race. How's your season going so far?
It's going pretty well. I mean, the times haven't been the greatest so far, but really it's not about that in these races. So, I mean, I'd say it's a pretty good start to the season.
How does it feel being a senior captain?
It feels great. I mean, to lead the guys and with the girls captains too, it's just great. And it feels like the time's just going by so quick. It feels like my freshman year was literally just like yesterday.
How do you push yourself mentally during a race?
It gets hard sometimes during races, but you really just got to remember, like, it's really not that long of a race. It's only like 20 minutes. So you just got to remember, like, either way, you're going to be done soon. So you may as well just push it now.
What do you hope to achieve by the end of your cross country career?
I just want to just achieve like team success and really just to make a lot of memories with the team.
Back to you.
That's all for this week on
EPSN. Now back to Macy and Morgan.
Now on to this week's segment of
Within these walls.
This is Macy Rosen interviewing Mr. Neifer about being back at school. So Mr. Neifer, what were some big changes that you had to make to go back to school?
Well, obviously with the pandemic going on, there are a lot of safety concerns for our staff and for our students. Probably the biggest thing that we tackled first was creation of new clinics here within each one of the 3 buildings. So it gave us an opportunity to have an area where we could quarantine students, where our Akron Children's staff could evaluate students for any concerns that they had in regards to COVID-19. After that, certainly there were a number of guidelines and mandates that changed throughout the course of the summer. But trying to figure out how do we social distance classrooms, how do we safely bring people back into environments like the cafeteria, the gymnasium, how do we handle and deal with the mask mandates and the issues that those bring. Those are all things here for face-to-face. Probably the biggest change is that idea that we are now one staff, one budget, one school district, really running two educational environments. So with that one staff and one budget, trying to create not only an environment where kids can come back to school, but to create an effective online environment for those who didn't feel comfortable coming back to school. That was probably the biggest challenge that we are still working on. We certainly have created it. It's something new, so every day we're finding problems and trying to solve those problems. But I'd say those are probably the biggest issues that we dealt with over the summer.
Right. And looking towards the future, do you think we'll stay in school or go online? And if we do go online, do you think we'll still have sports?
Well, there's a lot of things in that question that we don't control, unfortunately. I think we're doing a great job. I know we've only been here for a week and a half, but I think we're doing a great job here, staff and students, of following the guidelines and honoring the mitigation strategies, wearing masks, social distancing, cleaning and disinfecting the buildings, washing our hands. I think we're doing a great job. If we continue to do that, we'll certainly help. One of the bigger things that we don't control is what's happening after 3 o'clock, what's happening after 4 o'clock. Are we trying to remember those same things when we're at home, when we're hanging out with our friends? Those things outside of here are going to have great impact on whether or not we make it through the year. So stay tuned, we'll see. I'm confident that if we do the things we know we can do, that we will be here. If there is community spread and we deal with it, we certainly have a plan. We actually have 2 plans. We do have a hybrid plan in place, which would allow kids to come to school for part of the week and stay home for part of the week. And we also have a remote plan, which would be similar to what we did last spring, where everybody would be at home. Certainly a little bit better thought out and a little bit more effective because we now have some time to plan for it. As far as sports go, I think it would depend. A lot of that would be a state or a local health department decision. We work very closely with our local health department, but I would be surprised if we couldn't stay in school if sports would continue.
All right.
So.
Well, thank you, Mr. Knifer. That's it for this week.
See you next week on Eptv.
TV.